Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Right. Right. Good morning, guys. And one small notice to everybody. I think some students are attending from evening 6 p.m. core Java batch. Just I'm giving this notice to you. Then this is not the right time to attend for frameworks. Those who are in the core Java at evening time, evening 6 p.m. There even I have not started hoops concepts. I have not started even hoops concepts. Before hoops only we are discussing just language fundamentals. I'm discussing there like how to write for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So it is not the right time to attend for frameworks. I think some people have registered for uh, packages like complete Java and full stack Java. So this is not the right time for you. I will start separately. I'll start separately frameworks classes and advanced Java classes at evening time. But at present, for morning full stack Java students and some other students, we are taking these classes now. Okay. Then if any of you are coming from evening 6 p.m. core Java batch, then better not to attend for this class today onwards even, right? Today it's okay, it's a basic introduction part, then we can continue with that. But actual content is not required, then we'll plan for it separately. Okay, all right, sir. Now just give some time to me, then let me prepare some document and all. The classroom notes also we have to create. Right, sir. So let me create a separate folder for it. Now, this is frameworks actually. Part of the framework here, we are going to take like what there Spring 830. The location also we get specified clearly. So from now onwards, every work of our classes, I'm going to keep in like what there Spring 830. Then inside this, let me prepare a document. Right, sir. Now here, I need to provide Spring 830. Right, sir. Today in the introduction part, I'm going to talk about you regarding this, what I'm planning there, then what I'm going to discuss with you, then all the things here we are going to understand effectively only one time. Then after that, we'll move forward into our introduction content. All right, sir. Okay. Then see this. Then first of all, today here I'm starting these classes with the Spring, but actually we are we are planning to start like what there Java frameworks. The total batch, no, it is like what there Java frameworks. All right, sir. In a Java frameworks, what exactly the content here we are including there? In Java frameworks, the content here what we are including there? Observe carefully. In a Java frameworks, the topics will be few topics like what there. 1 minute. The topics will be like what there? Spring, then Spring Boot. First one is like what there? Spring. Next one is a Spring Boot. Next one is a microservices. These are like what they're one set of concepts, no? Then after that, web services. Like this here, we have to start. Then before that, I need to go for like what there. Like now here, we need to understand. All right, sir. Now here, first of all, I need to take like what there, Hibernate. Then next one is like what there, Spring. These are overall the topic here, the topics here, what we are having there. This is overall syllabus. That means content about like what there, Java frameworks. Of course, you might be in complete Java package or you might be in full stack Java. Related to Java, this set is nothing but what their frameworks part. Here we are planning there. Today Java frameworks is a batch we started. Then where we are planning to discuss about these concepts. You know already the schedule for all these concepts there. Two slots here I'm going to take to complete these concepts. No, observe carefully. Now 7 to 8:30. 7 to 8:30. Here I'm going to utilize one slot. There, what I'm going to discuss there. Then another slot is also be existed here. What is that another slot here? Now this will be like what the today. Then now here at present here we are taking the class there 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Here we are taking only one time. Let me confirm it. One time if I complete it, then I'll move on to our content here. Right? So at present here today here I'm planning to start like what there Spring framework here now. Spring here I'm taking now. Okay, fine. Now it's going to be started. The Spring framework is going on here like this. I'm going to take the classes continuously about the Spring framework continuously like this. It's going to be start. Then after few days of time, actually servlets and JSPs are going on at 7 to 8:30. When I complete the servlets and JSPs, there I will start like what there Hibernate. There I will start what there Hibernate. So Hibernate still Spring is going to be happen. It's going on there. When I complete Spring at 8:30 to 10 now, here I will take like what there Spring Boot. The topic here I will start Spring Boot topic. Meanwhile, at 7 to 8:30, which topic is going to be happen there? No, Hibernate is going on there. So here we are planning to complete like what there Hibernate here. Right, sir. Hibernate is going on. When Hibernate is going on there, when Hibernate is completed, here I'm going to start like what there web services. Meanwhile, here what is going on here? No, Spring Boot is going on here at 8:30 to 10. So it's going to be happen. When the Spring Boot is completed, Spring Boot may take less time only, not too much time here. Then after that, I'll start like what there microservices. So at 8:30 to 10 now, at 8:30 to 10 now, continuously we are having the topics like what there Spring Boot, microservices. But after a few days of time, I'll start Hibernate at 7 to 8:30. Once Hibernate is completed, there I will start what there web services. This is actual schedule what I'm going to follow. Part of the frameworks and as well as like what there, then part of the all right, the total overall content here. Now try to recognize this clearly. All right, sir. Then after that, let's come for this content here. Let's come for this Spring content here. If you observe this, in general, maybe then people are having some different opinion in outside. Even still, people are coming to me. They're asking one question to me frequently, but I don't know what is the reason why they are getting this type of question. But frequently, one question is coming. Sir, I selected for a company. They are given work on Spring Boot and microservices, but I don't know anything about Java. Especially at evening 6 o'clock, people are asked to me now. So I don't know anything about Java. So can I learn Spring Boot directly? Spring Boot and microservices directly? Is it possible to learn Spring Boot and microservices directly? Right. Anyway, answer for this question is no, not at all. Without having knowledge on Java, how it is possible to learn Spring Boot and microservices? No. Understand it clearly? No, not possible. Leave this. Second question, another question here. What about this another question? No. Sir, I have knowledge on only core Java. Only core Java I know. Apart from that, I don't have any knowledge there. So can I learn Spring Boot? No. Again, this is a question here. No. Again, I'm telling to you, no. Not possible. See, it will be possible up to some part of the Spring Boot microservices. But once we are in some web environment, then how it is possible to understand that without having knowledge on the servlets and JSPs? No. Then before that, one more point I'm telling that to learn a springboard, definitely we need spring knowledge. Without having knowledge on Spring, it is not possible to understand Spring Boot and microservices. Understand it clearly. So without having prior knowledge on Spring framework, not possible to understand what their Spring Boot and microservices. Please recognize this clearly. So because of that reason only, I'm taking the classes like what is Spring onwards. Of course, in outside environment already observed that people are announcing a separate batch for Spring and microservices, Spring Boot and microservices. There what trainers are also given, they are giving the information there. No need to understand the complete Spring framework. Just only basics of the Spring framework is sufficient to come for what their Spring Boot and microservices now. But again, I'm telling there, half of the knowledge only we are able to get if you follow that approach, not complete knowledge. I'll give the clarity why complete knowledge we are not going to get with that only basis of Spring framework now. I'll give the reasons later on. Don't worry for it. But the point what I'm telling to you, if you know the Spring framework completely, then it is very easy to understand Spring Boot and microservices. Without having complete knowledge on Spring framework, we are able to understand little bit only in the Spring Boot and microservices. So because of that reason, we are going to use what there, we are going to understand effectively Spring framework. After that only, I'll plan for what there, Spring Boot and microservices. Don't hurry for it. Don't try to learn immediately Spring Boot and microservices. You're not going to understand complete internals. To understand internals of the technology, definitely we should have knowledge on what there, Spring Boot, complete Spring. Simple example. Tell me, by using Spring Boot, what type of applications we are going to prepare? You want to prepare only core Java programs? Only standalone applications you want to prepare? No. The Spring Boot application is like a core Java application, but it will activate web application internally. It will start server internally, it will deploy the application to the server, and it will expose like what their web application. Understand my point? That framework is designed in that way. So because of that reason, without having knowledge on Spring, we are unable to understand Spring Boot. That's the point I'm telling to you. Right? So that standard foundation is required in Spring framework also. For that purpose only, here today we are going to start what their Spring content. Again, I'm telling there, if any of you are expecting today directly Spring Boot, next to tomorrow microservice in the sense, forget about this course now, not required to attend for this course. The next complete Spring framework I have to discuss, then after that only I'll move on to what their Spring Boot and microservices. Again and again, I'm telling the same point. Now try to understand it clearly. All right, sir. Now coming to the Spring framework, what we are going to discuss actually in a Spring framework, what exactly the concepts here I'm going to discuss there. What modules here I'm going to discuss. Let us understand one time clearly. In a Spring framework, first one, introduction part, very good introduction here. We are going to see what is framework, what is the requirement to come for frameworks, why we need Spring framework, why it is very good when compared with other frameworks. This kind of environment we are going to understand. Here in the introduction part, majorly, we are going to put much focus on what is a framework. What exactly the requirement of the frameworks? A simple question I'm asking there. To design web applications or enterprise applications, we have so many technologies. Servlets and JSPs are available. EJBC is available. Then apart from that, number of servers are available, like Tomcat, WebLogic, or something else. Then after that, IDs are available, Eclipse, NetBeans, maybe, and IntelliJ IDEA, so many. These many things are available to prepare and execute enterprise applications. Then still, what is the requirement to go for framework? What is the need of the framework? That solid introduction is required. That exact point we require. What is the requirement of the frameworks? That exact point is required. Then only we are able to understand the concepts now. After understanding the framework, requirement of the framework, so many frameworks are available in outside. So many frameworks are available. Then why we should go for Spring? What is the need of understanding the Spring? What are the specialties of the Spring that we have to understand? So all this roundup we are going to see inside this introduction part. Moreover, inside this introduction part, we are going to understand clearly how many versions of Spring is available, how many modules are available inside the Spring, What is the purpose of each and every module? Even that introductory content also we are going to understand inside the introduction part here. That is one point. Next one, after that, next immediately we are going to see steps to prepare Spring application. What are the basic steps? What elements we require if you want to prepare a basic Spring application? Of course, core module application only. But before going to start core module, we need to have awareness on it, how to prepare the basic Spring project. Just to display hello world and console, how we are going to prepare that. Right, sir. Third one is like what there, where I'm going to start what there, core module. Core module, Spring core module, where IOC containers topics are available. Like application context and bean factory, like different containers are available. What is the need of these containers? What is the life cycle of the containers? Then after that, what is the meaning of dependency injection? Like so many core concepts are available. Internationalization support in Spring core module. Data validation support in Spring core module. Property editors in Spring core module. Dependency injection. And my point here now. Like then after that, setter method dependency injection, constructor dependency injection, interfaces dependency injection. So many dependency injections that related topics are available. So many concepts are available. That core module is a heart for Spring framework. Core module is what their heart for Spring framework. Without having knowledge on core module, we are unable to understand anything in Spring framework. But if you use a Spring JDBC module, no need to write all these things, directly only one step. Write and execute SQL queries. Only one method where we can write that SQL query, finish. That query is going to be executed. Understand it clearly. So the JDBC module is available. Very good advantages here we are able to get. Whatever the work, whatever the concepts we are able to learn in normal JDBC, all the concepts we are going to understand in a Spring JDBC module in a very simplified manner. In very simplified manner, we are able to understand, we are able to perform all JDBC operations. What we have seen in normal JDBC, everything we are going to see inside what there, that is Spring JDBC. Support is available, but in a simplified manner. Observe carefully. Leave this one. Then after that, after completion of this, there we are going to understand like what there, Spring AOP module, aspect oriented programming, aspect orientation. All right, sir. In the core Java introduction part, I given the intention of this aspect orientation, like unstructured programming languages, structured programming languages, object-oriented programming languages. Then after that, I have discussed about like what there, what I discussed there, no aspect orientation, aspect-oriented programming languages. That part I have discussed here. There I given some kind of introductory part for that. If you remember that, it's okay, fine, no problem. But no issues. That AOP, aspect-oriented programming, is very much effective in the case of the Spring framework. Say for example, simple examples I'm telling to you how this AOP is going to be available, how it able to provide some services for us. No, try to understand it. Ken. Simple understanding, simple logic I'm telling to you. Try to understand it now. Say for example, I have a bank application. Listen, all of you listen carefully. A bank application. Okay. Previously, I given a check, some post-dated check or maybe pre-dated check, whatever it may be, some check I've given to some customer, some person in outside. I given my check to somebody else. Then he dropped the check into a bank. Now the bank people wants to perform some transaction over the check. Then immediately what bank people are doing for us now? I have an account. In my account, maybe some 10 lakhs rupees is available. 5 lakhs check I have given to somebody else. Now he dropped the check in the bank now. He want to take that amount. He dropped that might be check in the account in the bank now. Then the check is coming for clearance to a particular bank. Then immediately what bank people are going to do? They have to do transaction or not? Then what is the amount, 5 lakhs amount? They have to do transaction. Means that they have to debit 5 lakhs rupees from my account. They have to credit that 5 lakhs rupees to what their customer account. Got it or not? This is what the bank people have to do now. Now immediately understand this. The date of clearance for the check is what there today. The date of clearing the check is what there today, for example. Then when the check is coming today, immediately that bank people will give a notification to me. What is that notification there? No, one particular check, the check number is like this, is coming for clearance. Try to maintain the proper balance in our account. In the case if balance is not available in the account, what is going to be happen? The check bounce is going to be happen or not? It's the case actually. Understand my point now? So here I have to maintain the proper balance. Immediately, bank people will send a notification for us. Today a check is coming for clearance, or maybe today or tomorrow we are going to perform. We are going to process the check. Please try to maintain the required amount in our account. Bank people are giving this notification to me, either through text message or through mail or maybe a call. Okay, I maintain the proper amount. That's okay. When they got confirmation I have the proper amount, immediately our bank people and will clear the check, will perform the required transaction. Okay, transaction is completed. When transaction is completed, then immediately what I'm able to get? No, I'm able to get again a notification or not? Again, we're able to get some notification or not? Answer my point clearly. So when I got a notification, how that notification is coming there? So some amount is debited from our account because of clearing the check, and its number is like this, some check number. Some amount is debited from our account for the sake of processing this particular check. There we are getting some notification. Here overall 3 activities I'm telling there. When check is coming to the bank for clearance, no, bank people are giving intimation to me. Point number 1. Second one is what there, when I maintain the proper balance, no, actual transaction is performed. Transaction is gone, completed. Number 3, after the transaction, about the amount debiting operation, I'm getting another notification. Got it or not? So now out of these 3 things, now tell me where actual business logic is going on. Out of these 3 things, no, 3 activities, no, giving notification about the check clearance. Second one is to perform the transaction, debit some 5 lakhs rupees from my account, no. Third one is like what there, giving information, giving notification about the amount debit. Out of these 3 activities, no, where actual business logic is going on. The actual business logic is going on with the debit operation or not? Answer my point, guys. The actual business logic is going on with the debit operation or not? Then first one and last one are what? They're just giving notifications. It's not the part of business logic. Our actual business logic is what? They're debiting some amount. Got it or not? Okay. But before debit amount, some activity we performed. After debit amount, some activity we performed here. I get my point or not? So to perform some activity before the business method execution, after the business method execution, we need some environment. That environment could be provided by what there? AOP, aspect oriented programming, in the form of some advices, before advice, after advice, something is available there. Around advice is available to do some activity before the business method execution, to do some other activity after the business method execution. So something is going to be utilized there. The something is provided by what there? AOP module, aspect oriented programming. This is one simple example here I'm telling to you now. Like this, so many examples are available. Say for example, in my enterprise application, some logging support I required. Logging. What is the meaning of this logging there? Of course, then I forgot to specify that point here. Along with this web services here, along with all these things, the programming I'm going to prepare like with what there? Maven. So far we are not aware about this Maven, but application development is going on completely with Maven. 1 or 2 applications without Maven I can prepare. I will show without Maven what work we have to do. And then after completion of the basic programming, then I will start Maven. Then I will discuss about Maven. Then through Maven we are going to understand the remaining part here, the remaining course here. 95 to 97% of the course is going on with Maven only. Without Maven, we are not going to prepare the applications now. This is required. Next one is like what there? Log4j. I need to prepare Log4j. For the sake of logging purpose, I'm going to discuss these 2. So with these 2, I'm going to prepare the applications here now, as a part of the syllabus only. Right. Now let's move on to the point here. One more example here I'm telling there. My enterprise application required what there? Logging service. Logging service is required. What's the meaning of this logging service? No. What's the meaning of this logging service here? Say for example, logs generation, you might be aware about it. Or simple examples I'm telling to you. If we go for server side applications, I think might be you aware about WebLogic server. At morning 7 o'clock I shown some examples there. WebLogic server, JNDI, data source and WebLogic server. When I start WebLogic server, when a command prompt is opened, server prompt, server console, here in the server prompt, some text data is displaying continuously. At least you might be recognized. Server state is changed to running mode, something else, you are getting that messages now. What are these messages actually? All these are logs only, logs of the server. Logs of the server. Okay, even forget this one. If you go for any normal organizations, say for example, Durga Soft, best example I'm telling them. Durga Soft has some employees now. Durga Soft has some employees. What they are doing there? Maybe shifts wise, some employees are coming there. 7 to 2, one shift. 2 to 9 is another shift, for example. When an employee is coming inside the Durga Soft front office, no, then immediately, what is the first work my employees are doing there? At the entry level, there is a log book. In that log book, they have to enter startup time, start time. They have to give a signature. Then they have to write the time and they have to give a signature. When their shift is completed, then what they have to do? Log out to time, log in time, log out to time. Immediately they have to give some information or not. So that is what their log book. In that log book, logs are going to be entered. Similarly, we can apply the same thing even for servers also. When we start the server, immediately server has to provide server startup in this particular minutes of time. There is a log on the server console. When I shut down the server, immediately there is a message, no, server shut down in this particular time. Okay, I started the server. I deploy my web application there into the server. So application is deployed in this particular time. When I undeploy the application, again, we have a message. This application is undeployed in this particular time. I submitted some request to my application there. Then request is coming in this particular time from the user. When a response is generated in this particular time. So they're nothing but what they're logs. So the process of maintaining these logs is nothing but what they're logging. The process of maintaining these logs is nothing but what they're logging. To maintain that logs, to manage that logging, we need to go for one service. That service is nothing but what they're logging service. To inject this logging service in my enterprise application, we required some approach, especially in Spring Framework, one approach is required to inject this logging service into my application. There we have to go for like what there? Aspect orientation. Now here logging is an aspect. That aspect we are going to be injected into our enterprise application, where we are going to do with what there? AOP, aspect oriented programming. Not only that, number of services are available outside. Logging service, maybe security service, transaction service, maybe so many services are available. Middleware services, no. All these middleware services, if you want to integrate with our enterprise application, where AOP model is providing very good support for us. That's one thing here we have to understand them. Nice. Then after that, after completion of this AOP module, there we are going to understand like what there Spring transaction module. What the next one here? No, Spring transaction module. Observe carefully. For the sake of transactions, guys, so many things are available. First of all, we have to understand what is a transaction. After understanding the transaction, what exactly the asset properties of the transactions. Asset properties are available: atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. Then we're out of all these things. The main important one is what there? Atomicity. How to achieve this atomicity? How to achieve like what there? What next one? No, isolation. Some isolation levels are available. Answer my point, Kerno. Then after that, some attributes are available. Some attribute behaviors are available. So all these concepts we are going to be implemented in our applications, in our enterprise applications. So to provide some support for the transactions in our enterprise applications, there we have to go for like what there? Spring transactions module. That Spring transaction module is providing the complete support for what there? Transactions, Kerno. That we are going to understand anyway. Right, sir? Then in the transaction module, we are going to understand the content here. Then after that, after completion of these transactions, Kerno, after completion of these transactions, get the next one is like what I'm telling there. I'll go for like what there? Spring ORM. Spring ORM, object relational mapping. It's like what there? Integration of Hibernate. Integration of what there? Hibernate. Okay, see, understand it clearly. I think some of you are not aware even that ORM. Don't worry, I'll explain clearly to you. It's somewhat related with Hibernate, but I'll give some basic content here. Try to understand it now. Listen, all of you listen carefully. To interact with the database from Java application, what technology we have to use as of now, as per your knowledge? To interact with the database from Java application, what we have to use? Come on, JDBC we have to use. Of course, the JDBC may be plain JDBC or Spring JDBC, that doesn't matter. JDBC we are going to use. Right. In the basic JDBC, in the plain JDBC, 5 to 6 steps we are using. Out of all the steps now, to perform database operations, what step we require now? Tell me. To perform database operations, what step here we have to perform? Write and execute SQL queries. Am I right or not? To write and execute SQL queries, how many methods we are using there now? Tell me. Right, sir. To write and execute SQL queries, overall, how many methods here we are using? 3 methods here we are using. Am I right or not? What are the 3 methods here we are using there? Execute query method, execute update method, and execute method. These 3 methods here we are using. Got it or not? Okay, good. Execute query, execute update, and execute method. 3 methods here we are using. Got it or not? Nice. If you take any of these methods, of course, you know, execute query method is for select SQL query. Execute update method is for what there? Non-select SQL queries. Execute method is for the sake of what there? Both the types of SQL queries. Already you're aware about it, clearly. But even if we take any of the method, there we have to write SQL queries or not? Select the star from EMP1. Update SQL query, delete SQL query, drop SQL query, create SQL query, select SQL query. In all 3 methods, we have to write SQL queries or not? If you want to write SQL queries in JDBC program, you should know, you must have knowledge on Oracle database or not? We must have knowledge on SQL or not? So that is the JDBC environment. So final point is what there? If you want to work with JDBC, you must know SQL queries. So you must have SQL knowledge. Is it possible to prepare JDBC application without having SQL knowledge? No. Basically, we have to write SQL queries or not. So you must have SQL knowledge. Got my point or not? But here my point is what there? I want to interact with the database and I want to perform all my database operations without using even a single SQL query. Without having any knowledge on single SQL query, I want to interact with my database. I want to perform the required database operations. In a JDBC, execute query method with the select SQL query. Then only we are getting the data. Result set object is coming. From the result set object, we are reading the data by using while rs.next method, by using sys.out.println of rs.get xxx methods. Got it or not? But what is the alternative I'm expecting there? Basically, myself is a Java developer, but I don't have any knowledge on SQL. I don't know anything about SQL, but still I want to perform database operations now. Then in my alternative, what I want to do there, I want to prepare a Java bean object. Java bean class, Java bean object, I'm going to prepare employee bean. I'll create employee object. Inside this employee object, I will keep data, ENO, ENAME, ECL, EAD data. Directly, I'm going to store that employee object into the database table without writing any insert SQL query. Without writing any insert SQL, just I want to use a Java method. That method is what their save method or a persist method. Just by using save or persist method, entire object I want to insert into the database table. Not required to write any SQL query, not required to write any insert SQL query. Or else already table is available. Already we have what there, one record is available. Now I want to update the data. Take again Java bean object. Insert the Java bean object, provide primary key value. Along with this primary key value, provide that data, normal data. What new data we want to update there, provide the data. Provide the data. Then simply access update method. Simple access what method? Java method, update method. Even I'm not writing any update SQL query, just Java method, update method. To that update method, pass that object. Which object there? No respective employee object. Automatically, updations have to be performed internally. I want to get an object. I want to get a particular record. That's my requirement here. In a plain JDBC, what we have to do there? Result set rs is equal to st.execute query of select a star from emp1, where eno is equal to 111. Lot of instruction we have tried. But in my alternative, what I want to do there, just I want to call only get method. Get off the respective class I'm going to provide. Get off employee dot class. Automatically record will be retrieved from the database. That record data will be stored in the form of a bean object. That bean object is available to my application. I'm going to get the data from bean object. I'm not going to use any SQL query, but without using SQL queries, I'm able to get the data. I'm able to insert the data. I'm able to perform all the database operations. And finally, I'm going to work with only Java bean objects. Now, this one is exactly possible in the case of Hibernate. In the case of what there? Hibernate, it is possible. Without knowing SQL queries, without using SQL queries, we can interact with the database, we can perform database operations. That is the main advantage with what there? Hibernate. Yes, sir, got my point or not? Now, what Spring is doing there? Spring doesn't have its own persistence mechanism, but Spring is able to provide some environment to integrate what their Hibernate applications. We can prepare Hibernate logic separately. Spring application is available. That Spring Hibernate application logic I want to integrate into my what there Spring application. For that purpose, we require some environment. That environment is provided by whom there? ORM. Spring ORM. Object Relational Mapping. This is Hibernate. Hibernate is one implementation of the ORM. ORM, for ORM, so many implementations are available. That famous one, and one of the implementation is what their Hibernate. That Hibernate we are going to integrate with our Spring application. For integration purpose, we need some environment. That environment is provided by what their Spring ORM module. Of course, that ORM implementation may be Hibernate, not only Hibernate. IBATIS may be available, and OpenJPA is available, and JPA is available. Any technology we can use to prepare your database related application, then integrate that application with our Spring application. For that purpose, we are having what there? Spring ORM, Object Relational Mapping. Clear to all of you what I'm telling you? So this is another topic here we are going to understand. After completion of this, another one is like what there? After the Spring ORM, next one is like what there? Spring Web module. Spring web module. What is this web module actually? What is the purpose of this web module? Before that, now answer for it. In outside might be we are able to prepare web applications. Am I right or not? We are able to prepare what applications? Then web applications. Now tell me, by using which technologies we are able to prepare web applications? No. By using which technologies we are able to prepare web applications? Now tell me. As of now, here we are having the concepts like what there? Servlets and JS space. Am I right or not? As of now, we are having the concepts like what there? Servlets and JS space. Right, sir. Servlets and JS space. Here we are having the concepts now. All right. Listen careful. I think you are not aware about this. Now let me explain that. Sir, first of all of you are comfortable. All of you are following the statements what I am telling there. But I don't know the reason why some people are in the middle getting disturbance. They are getting disturbed and they're having unnecessarily some kind of discussions there. Then are my points are clear to all of you? Are you able to follow the concepts what I'm telling there? Straight coaching to all of you. What I'm doing now? Don't say teaching now, right? Anyway, it's a teaching only, right? What I'm doing there actually, what I'm explaining now? Spring, the total syllabus what I'm going to be covered for you in the next duration. I'm talking there. Just one point about each and every module. I'm telling you now. Say this type of introduction is important. Why? Because if anybody else in outside they're asking to you, if they're asking to you, tell me something about Spring now, at least you can open your mouth, you can say the Spring framework has these many modules where the purpose of each and every module like this, at least we can give some kind of introduction. Understand my point? And moreover, my selfishness is what there at present in this today's class now. My selfishness is what there. I'm trying to say what I'm going to explain to you in the next upcoming days. Indirectly, I'm giving the information about like what the importance of the Spring framework. So then better to understand the points here. These points are very, very important. And one more point I want to clarify to you guys. In outside, maybe so many developers are available, so many students are available. So many students, they completed the total Java, complete Java, full stack Java, totally they completed. But the learning approaches are different from person to person. One category of persons, what they're able to do about their learning, no, they don't like these introductions, they don't like this theory, they don't like anything. Directly they want to go for program. Of course, some trainers are also available like that. Yes, their approach is like that. Trainer's approach may be anything, leave it. But student approach must be very, very important. One simple example I'm telling there. If trainer is not taking 1 day class, nothing is going to be happen for everybody. But trainer is taking the class, but student is not attending the class, definitely student is going to lose that. Identify that relation, what I'm telling there. Similarly, the learning process, if we come there, one category of students, they're getting boring by seeing that theory and all the concepts. So directly they want to go for what their program. Directly they want to go for program. They're trying to prepare the first program by hearting the syntaxes. No? But it is not at all worthwhile. It is not at all worthwhile. If you go for interview will not ask to you directly a program. Interviewer will not ask you directly a program. Interviewer will ask you why this concept is coming. What is the need of this particular topic? Already we have some existed system. Then what is the requirement to go for this new system? Already we have XML documents. What is the requirement to go for annotations? In this way, that interviewer is going to ask the question where we have to give answers now. If you are moving to the programming directly, you may not give answers for all these things. That is one category of people. And second category of people are available. What is the second category of people know? When they have the requirement, then they want to come to know about the each and every point here. In their company, when they want to go for Spring Boot, then they're trying to start a Spring Boot learning. They're not getting 100% knowledge. Without up to that time, they worked with the .NET project. All of a sudden, they have a requirement on Spring Boot. The company people have given information to him. Tomorrow onwards, we have to work with the Spring Boot. That persons are not taking any tensions in there. What they think there that today night they are going to start to learn what the Spring Boot. They are going to start it now. They are going to work on it, but without knowing answers, without knowing anything about Spring, Advanced Java, and Core Java. But there also be complete knowledge is not available. If any client is conducting some interview there, if that interviewer is asking some questions on Java, he is unable to answer for that questions. Why? Because he had only Spring Boot knowledge, that too light knowledge. Understand my point? What I'm telling. But some other people are available. They're going to start any kind of technology right from pre-page onwards, first page onwards, other page onwards. They're going to start. Their intention is what? There everything they want to know. If A is depending on B is depending on C. Their approach is what? They're going to start from C. After completion of C, then they will come to B. After completion of B, then they will come to what? Their A. And these people are standard people. Once they completed their learning process, if they go for any company, they will give challenges to the requirements. Let my project manager to do any type of work. No issues for me. I can handle. This type of confidence level is going to be happen. Understand, guys, what I'm telling there. So here, my view is also be what there. My view is also be not in the first two cases. I want to make you to understand like what there, the third case. Understand my point, you know. So because of that reason only, we are going to discuss about all these points here now. Please try to recognize this. Don't be deviate from the concepts now. So the what exactly the points I'm telling there, overall view of the course I'm telling there. At least some information we are able to get in the first class now. That's why I'm talking about all these points. Okay, fine. Don't think much about it. When I'm going to complete these classes there, when I'm going to start Spring Boot and everything, I will take care about it. Understand it now. But anyway, then I have a clear-cut plan for your classes there. Maybe first weekend, maybe next tomorrow and day after, I may not go for this continuation of this. Monday onwards, I'm going to start again. The next upcoming weekends, we are planning to take long sessions. On a Spring framework, we are going to work on weekends, minimum 3 to 4 hours of time we are going to work. As early as possible, we are going to complete the Spring framework. Then after that, we'll go for what there, some other. Okay, forget about it now. But don't be deviate now. Try to understand something what I'm telling you now. Now let's understand this point clearly, all of you know. Web applications we are able to prepare. Web applications we are able to prepare. Web applications we are able to prepare by using what there? Servlets and JSPs, guys. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity on this now? Yeah. Here I want to give one example to you. Now try to understand this example. I think at evening 6 o'clock I have given the same example, but again I'm telling the same example to you. Now try to understand it now. For example, in India maybe at the south and at north, two regions if we take, no, but I'm not partitioning like that, but example I'm taking, no, try to understand it. If we go for any marriage occasions at south, then food items are very good, right? Then what food items we used to take, no? Example I'm telling to you. What food items we used to take, no? Definitely right from, what's that? Lemon rice onwards, maybe veg biryani. Next one is what there? And pappu, right? Dal, sambar, right? These are main items. Am I right or not? If you take exactly the same thing, if you take at north side, what is going to be happen there? Rotis, naans, salads. As per their locality, their food items now. They're also be good. Assume the situation I'm telling to you guys. Understand it now. For example, listen carefully. I have some catering service. Not only catering service, no. For example, I have a company, food preparation and as well as catering. That services we are providing for marriage occasions. Then we have a team of 10 members or 15 members. Then we used to attend for what their marriages occasions where we are serving the food. Then we have some kind of catering service now. Got it or not? So unfortunately, we have a client, very good client, and they had some marriage occasion in their home. They are giving that catering, the total catering support to us. Then what we have to do? That cooking masters are available with me. One day before or 2 days before, we have to go there. We have to set at that environment. There we have to prepare the food. It's a North Indian marriage actually. North Indian marriage. There we have to serve the food. That's the requirement. Observe carefully. What they are given order to us. What they are given order to us. Please all of you listen carefully. What they are given order to us. So many delegates are coming to this marriage occasion. The crowd will be very more. So here, 50,000 chapatis you have to prepare. Chapatis only. 50,000 chapatis you have to prepare. It's a large quantity. 50,000 chapatis you have to prepare. That's a task we are having. It's a big task. Here, two cases I'm telling there. Case number one. Listen carefully. We don't have any machinery. Just only we have manpower. Maybe 20 members people I can get. What these 20 members are, they have to do right from one day before onwards. They have to go to the customer's home. There we have to take some room, cooking room. There we have to start preparing the chapatis or not. First of all, raw chapati we have to prepare or not. Then we have to prepare the chapatis or not. Then what we require the raw items, no. Maybe at one side the powder is required. Chapati powder is required. At some other side, what there no some plates we required for preparing chapati. Some kind of sticks we required. Some kind of oil we required. Some type of water is required. All items here we have to gather or not. That all items are available with each and every cooking master or not. Then along with that master, these items are available. They're manually preparing the chapatis now. How many chapatis they have to prepare there? 50,000 chapatis they have to prepare. 3 days before they have to start preparing these chapatis now. Continuously, every day 24 hours. Every day 24 hours. 3 days of time they have to work. Then only they are able to get like what there? 50,000 raw chapatis. How many days we have to work there? 3 days of time we have to work. 20 members nearly 20 members and 20 slots they have created there. Then each slot contains like what there? One master. 24/7. 3 days of time they have to work, or maybe 5 days of time they have to work. Then only the raw chapatis we are able to get nearly 50,000. 5 days of time they have to work. 20 members team. This is a work, guys. This is one approach. Finally, the marriage date was there. Then occasion is going on. 50,000 or maybe 25,000 delegates are coming. Each delegate contains is required like what the two chapatis. Along with the chapati might be some salads or maybe some kind of curry preparation and everything. It's so going on. So finally we serve all 50,000 members. It's okay, well and good. Services are very good. Then fine, finished. That occasion is finished. We got that required amount of money from the respective. Even some appreciation also we are getting. That's okay, good, nice, clear up to that. Now tell me, what is my total productivity? How many days of time we worked for that particular occasion? 5 days of time we worked there. 5 days of time, 20 members. As the manager of this catering service, every day salary I have to give for all 20 members or not? Per day, for one master, nearly 5,000 rupees I have to give. How many days? No, 5 days. Each day 20 members. 20 members and 5,000 in the sense 1 lakh rupees. 5 days, 5 lakh rupees for only cooking masters. Then for other expenditure is going to be available there. Anyway, then its overall cost is 10 lakhs rupees for me. Then I got the contract is what there 15 lakhs from the occasion. 10 lakhs I invested and 5 lakhs is the profit. That's okay. Good, nice. Understand? Productivity I'm telling there. How much time, then how much effort, how much money. That is called as productivity. Leave it. This is case number one. Again, I'm telling there in case number one, you have to take the responsibility. As a master, we have to take the responsibility. First, you have to prepare that powder with oil or some water. We have to prepare a paste. Then divide that paste into small like what there, small nuggets. Then the nuggets we have to go for like what there. We have to get like what there chapatis. Everything we have to do. As a master, I have to do everything. Am I right or not? Sir, all of you are following or not? Case number two, I'm talking now. Nowadays, chapati prepared missions, chapati preparation missions are available. In outside might be some missions are available. Am I right or not? Some missions are available. In that missions, what we have to do there? Just we have to keep that mission, then attach some power sockets. Then inside this mission, just give maybe 10 kgs of chapati powder and give might be then one bucket of water, required amount of oil. Everything just we can pour. That's it. It's a matter of 5 minutes. Then switch on that mission. What that mission is doing there? No, it is preparing that paste. It is dividing that paste into the number of equal parts, and it is preparing chapatis there. Per 1 hour, for 1 hour, it is preparing 1,000 chapatis. Like this, 10 missions I will take. Now tell me, within how many days we are able to prepare 50,000 chapatis there? Within 1 day we can prepare or not? Within single day, 1 day, 50,000 chapatis we are able to prepare or not? Even they are not raw chapatis now. Then final product we are getting directly after having some what I'm telling there. The final product we are getting directly they're ready to serve. That product is ready to serve. First of all, in the first case we have to prepare raw chapatis. Then after that we have to make it is what their final product. Then that final product we have to serve. There again lot of work. But in the chapati mission directly raw final product we are getting. That final product we are going to serve to the respective delegates. Now in this case, how many days of work we have to work there? One time. 1 day of work we have to do. How much manpower we require? 2 to 3 members. Not we don't require 20 members there. 2 to 3 members are sufficient. But power socket is required, power support is required. That's finished. Automatically we are able to get what there? The chapatis, 50,000 chapatis in 1 day effort. We are able to get it. Now tell me guys, all of you now tell me, as a manager of that catering service, no, 15 lakhs is the contract for me. Out of this 15 lakhs, how much investment I'm going to put with these missions? No, missions are my own missions only. Missions are my own missions only. No need to give even rent. Even if we give rent, no, each mission per day maybe 1,000 rupees. 5 missions, for example, 5,000 rupees. Finish. 2 to 3 members labor work, maybe labors in the sense like what their manpower. 2 to 3 members, no. Then it's more than less than 25,000 or not. But where 5 lakhs rupees, but here 25,000. Out of this 15 lakhs contract, no, less than 1 lakh is an investment. Then remaining 14 lakhs are remaining or not? Is a profit or not? Observe carefully. Then which case is a benefit for the catering service people? Which case? Second case or first case? No. Second case here. Got it or not? First case is totally everything that caterers have to be prepared. Second case, missions we are using there. Through that missions we are simplifying our work. Am I right or not? Right. The first case is without framework preparing an enterprise application. Second case is preparing enterprise application with framework. Understand my point here. First case is what there? No framework support. Directly we are preparing application with our own hands, everything. That's only by using servlets and JSPs we are preparing that. But second case is what there? Servlets and JSPs we are using, but with the machinery we are using that. That machine is nothing but what their framework. That machine is what their framework. Understand it clearly. With the framework, if we prepare the application, no, within one day we are able to finish your entire enterprise application. But manually, if we do that without using frameworks, no, there it may take like how much time, maybe 5 days of time it is taking there. More time, more development time. But here less development time. More development time in the sense, more development cost. But here less development time in the sense, less development cost. Here more time, same result. Less time, same result. Now tell me where productivity will be more. First case or second case now? Second case. In second case only productivity will be more. Understand my point here? Productivity in the sense what there? Less time, more result. Less time, more product. There is nothing but what their productivity. Productivity will be very good in the case of what their second case with the frameworks. Because of this reason only, nowadays every company is trying to use frameworks. Now tell me, if you are using frameworks now, companies are getting benefit or not? If you are not using frameworks now, companies are losing their profits or not? Because of that reason, frameworks are getting very much famous in outside. As part of that only struts framework is available previously. As part of that only JSF is available previously. As part of that only nowadays Spring framework is available. Or maybe Spring Boot or microservices, whatever it may be. All these are because of improving productivity only. Moreover, one more example I'm telling you. Try to understand it now. One human being is preparing all the chapatis now. That the master, that the cooking master is preparing chapatis now. How many masters are working together to get that 50,000 chapatis? No, 20 masters they have worked there. Am I right or not? Now tell me. You only tell me. You only tell me, guys. Observe carefully. Do you have any guarantee all masters are preparing the chapatis with the same size, with equal size? Do you get any guarantee? Will you give any guarantee? Where accuracy of the application development is reduced or not? Application is not coming in the form of accuracy or not? No accuracy is available or not? All chapatis are not at all equal. Definitely some sizes point of view differentiation is available. Am I right or not? Work performance is not good. Am I right or not? But if you use mission now, then mission is nothing but one program, right? Then it able to divide the total chapati paste into the equal parts or not? Then here there is a guarantee for every chapati it must be in a equal size or not? Come on, guys, you have to understand this point, So your performance is very good, accuracy is also be very good. Am I right or not? Similarly, without using frameworks, if we prepare the application, where accuracy of the implementation is not good. But if we use frameworks to prepare the application, where accuracy is very, very simple or not? Accuracy is very good or not? Accuracy of the application, or maybe productivity of the application, or performance of the application will be very good or not? Here in a standard approach, we are getting all the products or not? But here there is no standardization for it. Understand it clearly. So because of that reason, always we will use or we will go work with what their frameworks. Because of that reason, frameworks are getting very good demand. All right, sir. All of you understand it clearly. This is a simple example I'm telling to you. After this, whenever we are getting these frameworks now, so many frameworks are available, like Struts is available, JSF is available. These two are for preparing web applications, for example. Okay, fine. One developer has prepared one application by using Struts framework. Another developer is preparing Spring application. In a Spring application, I required these Struts. In a Spring application, I required what their Struts application. I required the Struts application inside my Spring application. I want to integrate that Struts application with my Spring application. To integrate Struts application with the Spring application. To integrate Struts application with the Spring application, Spring framework has provided some environment. That environment is nothing but what their web module. Spring web module is providing an environment to integrate Struts application with the Spring application. Spring web module is providing environment to integrate JSF application with what there? With the Struts application. I'll show. Then by the time you may not aware about the Struts and JSF, no, but don't worry. I will give the basic information of Struts framework, how to prepare Struts application, then how to integrate the Struts application with the Spring application. We are going to understand that point clearly. But before that, understand it, no, Struts, JSF, all these are MVC based frameworks. All these are what they're MVC based frameworks, model view controller based frameworks. that applications which are prepared on struts and JSF are integrated with the Spring framework just by using what there Spring Web module. Spring Web module here we are able to get clearly. Right, sir. Understand it now. After that, all of listen carefully. The next module is what there Spring MVC module is available. Listen carefully. All of listen carefully. Web application we prepared by using struts means that MVC framework. That application is available. We want to integrate that application with the Spring application. Spring Web module here we are using. Got it or not? But what Spring is providing now, to prepare MVC based application, first we have used struts. We prepared application separately with the struts that we are integrating with the Spring framework. Instead of doing that work, Spring framework itself is having its own framework on the base of MVC. That framework is what there Spring Web MVC. Spring MVC model, that is what there Web MVC. That is in which way struts is available outside to prepare web application. In the same way, Spring has its own MVC framework to prepare web applications in a simplified manner that we are able to prepare directly without integrating other technology product into our Spring framework. Directly we can prepare MVC based web applications by using Spring provided MVC framework. So further purpose we have to go for like what there Spring Web MVC module. Directly we have to go for what there Spring Web MVC module. This we are going to understand clearly. First of all, we are into integrate struts application with the Spring application, JSF application with the Spring application that I can show. After that, how to prepare our own web applications by using Spring own MVC. By using Spring own MVC, how we are able to prepare web application that we are going to show clearly. That is another part here we can understand now. Next one is after completion of this, another content is like what there Spring security. Security in our web applications. How we are able to provide security for our web applications. So in a Spring, basic Spring security in the sense like what there, just we can understand it is like what there, authentication and authorization services. Authentication and authorization services only up to this part only. Here we are going to see in case of like what there in a basic Spring. In a Spring security, authentication and authorization services only, we are able to understand max. All of you are getting it or not? So these are the various modules. This is the content here we are going to understand inside like what there Spring framework, not more than this. But the security, Spring security here we are discussing at one level. In Spring Boot, again security module is available. There we are going to discuss some advanced security techniques. Get my point or not? Then OAuth like this, some other technologies are available there, security related things, no? That I'm going to use in Spring Boot. But here basic security only here we are going to use. What Spring Framework is providing security, up to that we are going to use that. But in Spring Framework, in a Spring Boot, we are going to use some other advanced level of securities for us. But as of now, in a Spring Framework, these many things here we are going to understand. Sir, all of you are getting my point or not? Okay, fine. Out of all these things, what dependency level is available? Introduction anyway, no need to have any knowledge on programming, leave it. Steps to prepare first Spring applications also be okay. But if you want to go for this core module, there we required core Java knowledge. Core Java knowledge, complete knowledge is required. Okay, fine. Spring DAO JDBC, if you observe this, there we required JDBC knowledge. In advanced Java, JDBC is available, the JDBC knowledge is required. Next one is if you want to go for Spring AOP module, again here what is required, what knowledge is required here, we need to have core Java knowledge. Definitely here we required what there, core Java knowledge is required. Observe carefully. Now here if you want to go for Spring transactions, no, what knowledge is required here, no, core Java knowledge is required, JDBC knowledge is required, maybe some extra, some other. But when we go for the Spring ORM module there, ORM module where definitely core Java, next one is what there, JDBC, and what next one here, little bit, that idea is on what there, Hibernate is required, especially Hibernate knowledge is required. Hibernate knowledge in the sense, definitely core knowledge is required. Core Java and as well as like what there, Hibernate knowledge is required. Web module, if you want to go for this web module, Then what is required here? Struts awareness and JSF awareness is required. Don't worry, I will discuss about the struts and JSF basic programming. I will discuss. I'll show how to integrate these two applications with the struts Spring framework that we are going to understand. Next one is when we go for this one here, MVC module here, there we require directly servlets, JSPs. Then what next one here? Better if you are having struts and JSF, better. Knowledge is not mandatory but required. If you know, then it will be very good. Then security model, if you want to observe this security model, there we required servlets and JSPs we required. And the Spring, remaining part of the Spring, that is also required here. Observe carefully. After completion of the core module, in every module, core module is required. Core module is required. Without core module, we can't do anything. Understand my point, guys? What I'm telling you now. So, introduction part, steps to prepare Spring application, core module, JDBC module, AOP module, or maybe up to transaction module. Up to completion of this one, core Java and JDBC, the knowledge is sufficient. But when we go for ORM, Hibernate is required. Meanwhile, we are going to complete. We are going to enter into the Hibernate at 7 o'clock there. The moment when we come this, where some basic programming we are able to see, unlike what there on this content. Then after that, web module, where I will talk about struts and JSF. No need to join for any other courses there, like struts and JSF, no, but they are totally outdated. But still, I will give basic programming approach. Then I will start integrating that struts and JSF applications with what there Spring applications. I'm able to show that clearly. I had very good knowledge on the struts and JSF previously. But nowadays nobody is using that. That's why even I'm not teaching that content there. Okay, then after that, this MVC model we are going to say effectively. More content we are going to discuss there. So there we are going to understand the content here. Anyway, this is my total content here we are able to use clearly. Right, sir. Just examples I'm telling there. Web, that means web model in the sense any web framework applications we can integrate, sir. Any web framework, web application framework we can integrate with Spring by using web module, where examples I have taken struts and JSF. If we have any other web framework there, that we can integrate with the Spring application through web module. But examples I'm taking the struts and JSF. These two are the majorly used frameworks for web application development. Okay, clear. Once if we complete this part, then I'll go for Spring Boot and microservices content. Yes, are you getting my point or not? Okay, fine. Then apart from this, do you require any other concepts here? Do you require any other concepts there? No, apart from this, like anyway, then if you come for the services, no, regular things here we are going to provide. What services here we are going to provide there? Every class is being recorded. Then recording videos will be provided. Classroom applications and classroom notes. Classroom notes is very important. Clear cut document I will provide there. So I will give that access of it. Anyway, I need to prepare the link. Then tomorrow, that means in the next class, I will give the link to access these notes also. No need to worry for it. Then after that, after completion of this, what else required here? No. Then anyway, deep concepts we are going to discuss. Definitely deeper and deeper knowledge here we are going to provide. Understand it clearly. No. Then what version of the Spring we are going to use there? At basic level, Spring 5.x version. Directly, I'm going to use what there? Spring 5.x version. It is going on there. Spring Boot, which version of the Spring Boot we are going to discuss there? Observe carefully. In a Spring Boot, recent version is what the 3.x version. 3.0 version is available, but I will start programming with the 2.x version. After that, we will go for what the 3.x version applications. But fortunate or unfortunate, but the problem is what? Spring 3.x version required Java 17 version knowledge. Spring Boot 3.x version. Spring Boot 3.x version required Java 17 version knowledge. If you're attending my core Java classes, obviously we are able to get that awareness. Why? Because I'm going to talk about Java 19 up to Java 19. So by the time of Spring Boot, we are able to have awareness on it. Understand, guys, what I'm telling there. But other members, we have to check the possibility. But you have to update up to what there Java 17 version, where records topic is available that we are going to use in Spring Boot 3.x version. Java 17 knowledge is required. So then it may take some time here, but not immediately. The moment when I'm going to start a Spring Boot, there I'm giving clarity. No, right, sir. Then people are asking to me, videos are permanent. Then what I have to give answer there? Up to 1 year of time access is okay. More than 1 year also we are able to provide, but after more than 1 year, I don't know how much time it's going to be available. But up to 1 year, definitely damn sure that service will be available for you. After 1 year also they are going to be available. Why? Because my office people are not to remember this kind of activities. So don't worry. After 1 year of time, we have to delete videos. We have to terminate that access. No, our office people don't know about it. Max up to know they prepared the videos, they created the drives, and they forgotten about the drivers also. Up to 1 year of time, it's available, guaranteed one. After 1 year of time also, it's available. But how much time they are going to be available, but we don't know for that. But more than 1 year, we are able to get access. Right, sir. Anything else about from this? Right, sir. Then apart from this, right, sir. That's okay. Then tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we don't have any class for this Spring framework. Next class will be on what? Monday. Next class will be on Monday. And one more thing I'm requesting to everybody. I think some offline students are attending in online. Please, I'm requesting to you at least Monday onwards, come to the offline classes. Those who are registered for offline, then come to the offline classes. This link on online link, demo link, maybe up to next 2 to 3 days of time only. After that, private links will come. That private links will be provided for what there for online students there. But anyway, videos are available for everybody. But I'm suggesting, I'm requesting to everybody, those who are in offline, without depending on videos, at least come for the offline classes. If you come for offline classes, that will be more effective one when compared with your videos. Of course, videos are always available for you. I can give that video support to you. Don't worry for it. But the point is what there, better to attend for offline classes. At least I want to see your faces, those who are registered for offline. No. If you don't want to show your face to me, then it's okay. That depends on you. At least come here and show your face. No. 1 or 2 classes at least try to attend for it. Then after you can depending on your what there video support. No. But I'm suggesting to you, even though I'm giving video support to you, then try to attend for the class. So if you don't want to attend for offline classes there, I may think about to provide video support. Now this time definitely people will come. Huh? Right, sir. So fee structures and everything, just you can contact with the admin people, guys, not related to me. Maybe our office numbers might be existed there. Just we can go for it. Right, sir. Anyway, then for offline people may leave for that. And today I wind up this session. And tomorrow and day of tomorrow not required to come for this. On Monday directly we have to come for these classes now. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on Monday. Thank you. For online people, guys, just give a minute of time. I'll talk with you regarding this fee related things and all. We are able to get 1 minute, guys. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. End of it. Hmm. Which version of WebLogic you are using? 12. Still you are getting it now. No such method error. Okay, okay, fine. 1 minute, 1 minute. There's a security problem basically, right? Open your Pro JDBC program. Yeah, guys, 1 minute, 1 minute. Give a minute of time. Guys, I'll give some numbers to you. One minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Guys, 1 minute. Those who are attending in online, I'll give some details to you. Wait a minute of time. No errors. It's okay, fine. Security problems, no? The security related thing, right? So then I'll check one time there. Then I had the same type of problem. Which version of Java we are using? Better to use 8 version. Java 8 version. That WebLogic server you installed with Java 8 or 18? No, no. 1.8 or 1.18? 8. 8 is okay. 1.8 is okay. Then here in our project, 19 we are using now. One time check with 8. I think so. This may not be the problem, but try to check one time there with 1.8. No, but let me check once. The problem is coming frequently anyway. Uh, Sorry. Guys, and use these numbers there for the sake of this payment process. No, some of you are sending messages to me. All right, sir. Then use this mail IDs and all those who are attending in online. Use these details here so that you can what I'm telling there. You can go for the payment mode and everything. I think some of you are sending messages to me. That's why I'm giving this option to you now, guys. Please try to check this and try to use this mail ID and this number, especially this number, guys. Our people will be in touch with you. Any of these numbers here we can use. That depends on your view. Yeah, Spring Cloud it will cover in Spring Boot and microservices, guys. Definitely will cover that. Spring Boot microservices. Spring Cloud will cover in Spring Boot. Jayant. Okay, can I explain the schedule once more? 7 to 8:30 and 8:30 to 10 o'clock, guys. 8:30 to 10, I'm taking the Spring class. 8:30 to 10, Spring Boot microservices. But 7 to 8:30, after a few days of time, Hibernate. Then what next one there? Web services. They're the schedules. Okay, Shardul. Yeah, thank you, Jayant. Thank you, thanks a lot. Yeah, Prachi Singh use Zoom app. I think then when compared with the Zoom, then go to webinar is more comfortable, guys. The more security features are available. Tomorrow no class, guys, and tomorrow even core Java also be at night time. Today at night time core Java class at 9 to 10 remaining topics. No, tomorrow and day after tomorrow also be core Java classes will be at the night time only, not at the morning time. Okay, tomorrow no core Java class at 8:30. Core Java class is at what time there? 9 o'clock only. 9 to 10 I will take the sessions for core Java. Okay. Right, sir. I'm attending of advanced Java. This is Spring also covered, or should I separately pay? Exactly. So, Teja, the Spring course is totally different, and advanced Java course is totally different now. Yeah, please check it or off is there. Then they're able to give more clarity. Yeah, no 8:30, only 7 a.m. Yes, Agarwal, Jayant Agarwal, right. Tomorrow Spring class is not available, and Monday onwards Spring class I will take. Next class will be on Monday. Okay, fine. Okay, anything else? Yeah, Rakesh, at morning 7 o'clock it will be covered. Santosh not required to quit it. If you have any another company offer letter, then only we can quit. Unnecessarily don't come out from the offices now. If you have any another job with another company, then only we can think of the present job. Yeah, then Shabaz Hussain. Yes, it will take like that. Yes, exactly. Your thought is right. Yeah, sure. Jayant Agrawal, in the document I've given already that link to you. Open that core Java document, there you can see that link. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's all, guys. That's all for today. Then I'll meet on Monday directly. Yeah, I'll start advance on new batch at evening time, guys, but not immediately. It may take some time. Yeah, thank you. Jalender Jalender three, definitely three. We are going to take 3 months of time. Okay, minimum. That is minimum duration. Thank you, thank you, guys. Then thanks a lot. Thank you for your support, and we'll meet on Monday. Monday we are going to discuss about it. Spring Boot and microservices. Yes, exactly. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you. We'll meet on like what there Monday, right? Thank you. Thanks a lot. ఖర్చులు కావాలి కదా నీకు Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on the screen. Those who are attending in online, is my voice is clear to all of you guys? Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on the screen. Those who are attending in online, is my voice is clear to all of you? Guys, please check it. All of you are getting my voice on the screen. Yeah, nice. All right. Good morning, guys. And just give clarity for me. How many of you are attending both the sessions like 7 to 8:30 and 8:30 to 10? Almost all of you. Nice. And how many of you registered for Advanced Java and not attending servlets and JSPs? Any of you are available here? Registered for Advanced Java but not attended for servlets and JSPs at morning 7 o'clock. Hmm? Okay, fine. Right, I'll talk it separately. So people are taking advantages from videos actually. At least courses startup days also you have to come to. At least first 1 week of time. Then if you come at offline there, I can see how many members are coming there. Really, you are not aware about it. Almost all the registrations for this class, these frameworks, advanced Java with frameworks and basic pack, complete Java package and all, almost all, nearly more than 250 members. Maybe 60 or 70 members are sitting now in front of me. At least first 10 days of time, basic classes is a course start of Spring Framework. If we come to the offline classes, no, then it will be good thing. Then for core Java evening, we made a call to the students, no? Then I got the responses what there. Completely we are depending on videos or every day video is coming. So we are attending that through that videos, no? Maybe tomorrow or day of tomorrow, for this batch also our admin people will call them why people are not attending there. No? Any other reasons, any exams or kind of things, no? Any exams are going on for academic students? If they're academic students, they will not attend this 8:30 10 class. I'm sure about it. But still, see, then you are coming here for offline classes. But by thinking about your benefit, I'm giving that video support. But don't depend completely on that video support now. At least few days of time, up to first application development, come to the offline class. Those who are registered for offline class now. If you are in online, then no chances for you. Okay. Right, sir. Then my online people are giving suggestions now. Don't upload videos, sir, immediately. Right, sir. No, not like that. Then anyway, then once you are committed for the service, no, then max level we are trying to give that service there, but don't depending on it. Yeah, definitely we are going to upload the videos on time and everything. Going on. At least I want to see your faces now. How many of you registered for this course? Of course, whether you like to see my face or not is a secondary. I want to see your faces at least. All right, sir. Then why I'm talking about this? No, I think these statements are going to be recorded. When they see this video, maybe today or tomorrow, at least they'll realize no. So next 2 to 3 days of time, I will check it whether all members are coming or not. Otherwise, next 10 days of time, I will not upload videos. Not lately. I will not upload videos next to 10 days of classes. Sure. Today and tomorrow, I'm giving time there. Those who registered for offline classes, at least first 10 days of time, you have to come for offline. Otherwise, next 10 days of time. Even after 10 days of time also, if you are not coming there, I will think about your admission. Okay. Right, sir. Now let's come for the point here. Okay, fine. Now see this, then what we completed there in the last session, or exactly the content here we discussed it there in the last session. The topics are introduction classes only, just about to introduce the frameworks. What's the requirement of it? Then that part we started there. So we are going to understand effectively the content. Right, sir. Again, I'm telling to you before starting this course, in general, in outside, what content is getting very good demand in outside there, Spring Boot and microservices. That is very, very hot in outside market, hard cake. Even if you have Spring Boot microservices in your resume, then you'll be selected immediately. It's a matter of weeks of time, 1 or 2 weeks of time to get selected in a company. Damn sure. But again, I'm telling there, even I can start directly Spring Boot, but complete awareness you will not get. Because of that reason, I'm telling to you, even if anybody else in outside also saying that, why you're learning this entire Spring, better to go for Spring Boot microservices. No, don't fall with that particular statements. No. So in a standard approach, I'm taking the classes to you. First, let me complete the total Spring. Then after that, I will go for what there Spring Boot and microservices. More clearly, I'm telling now, at the time of announcing these batches also, whether you recognize it or not, I did not announce the batch with the Spring Boot microservices. I announced the batch with what there Spring Boot microservices. So Spring is also a course. Then after that, Spring Boot. Next one is microservices now. So for your better understanding, for your completeness, for our complete clarity point of view, first we have to understand the total Spring framework. Of course, still some companies are using Spring framework before this Spring Boot. Without Spring Boot, only Spring framework is also be going on. But very good demand is going on for what there Spring Boot and microservices. I have to accept that. So because of that reason, first we have to understand complete Spring framework. Why? Because your status I know clearly. Just almost all we completed core Java. Next one is like what there advanced Java we completed JDBC. So let's we start it. Okay, that is your status now. Now with this knowledge, if I start directly Spring Boot microservices now, how can you understand the content here? Spring Boot is direct step. First application of the Spring Boot is nothing but Spring Web Module. The first application of Spring Boot is what there Spring Web Module. How can you understand it without having awareness on Spring Web Module? So because of that reason, let me complete this Spring framework. Then after that, I'm telling to you Spring Boot and microservices. Why I'm telling this information there? You may get some misguidance from outside. Then to go for it, to don't go for that. That misguidance from outside now. So for that purpose, I'm giving some alertness to you. If anybody else in outside they are saying to you, don't learn a Spring framework, directly learn a Spring Boot and microservices. No, don't go with that statements. No. As I know the total process. See, for example, think a minute about it. Without Spring framework, if I start Spring Boot and microservices, no, I may complete my batch a bit earlier mode or not. I may start new batch there, right? If I start new batch, more money will come or not. But still, I'm thinking about Spring in the sense, understand it now. It's not in that like what there in a different way. Completeness, we need to get the total base. We need to get clearly. This is permanent solution. Please recognize this. What I'm telling to you, it is a permanent solution. It is not like temporary solution. It's a permanent solution for everybody. Once you complete these frameworks here, in the next 10 to 15 years of time, you should not look back. You have to complete this total part. So because of that reason, I'm taking in a standard way, but try to attend the classes properly, try to understand the content. And one more thing I'm telling to you, maximum students are attending servlets and JSPs and what there, this is a frameworks concepts. Am I right or not? Maximum, majority of you are attending that. So your regular practice is very, very important. In core Java, you might be neglected the regular study. You okay up to core Java, it's okay, fine. It's worked out. Why? Because maybe after 1 week of time, even if you open the notebook, there we can see some content there we can understand at least some points here. But these concepts are not like that. Every concept is linked to concepts. Today, for example, if I discuss X now, tomorrow Y I'm going to discuss there. Definitely Y is depending on X. If you miss X, you will not understand Y. If you are not understanding X and Y, then there is no chance to understand Z. If you are not understanding Z now, better to stop these classes. That's enough. That's it. So because of that reason, regular study. Today, even the theory, blindly think of it. To prepare first Spring application, it may take minimum 10 days of time. Minimum 10 days of time it will take to start first spring application. To type a program, a hello world program, if you want to show on my system there, 1 week to 10 days of time minimum it will take. So up to the time we have to understand theory only, complete theory. Why? Because we need to be get very much strong in the basics, foundation. After that we are going to see, without knowing what is the purpose of the framework, how can you understand Spring framework? No? Why frameworks are coming into the picture? That question I'm having there. We need to answer for this question. That's why then first I'm going to give the step by step each and every point. No, you must aware about all the points clearly. Right, sir. Anyway, then I'll go for the content here. Now try to understand it clearly. Right, sir. That's fine. Now let's come on to the content, guys. What I'm telling to you. Can you tell us different technology which are trending and we should learn to become a successful software engineer? Right. Nice question. Anyway, I think all of you might be aware about it. But as per my concern, I'm telling to you, at present, the market is totally with what there, Spring Boot microservices. And if that profile, the Java developer having Spring Boot microservices, RESTful services, these three trending in outside. But to understand these three, under Spring, entire content is required, enter Java is required. Along with these three, if we have DevOps in our resume, Java developer with Java DevOps background, Java developer background with DevOps. If you have that in your resume, definitely you'll be very good resource in outside at present. Because of that reason only, in the full stack we included what there DevOps. DevOps in the sense Linux, AWS, and DevOps tools. These three things. Then you'll be very good resource in outside. Recognize this. If you're asking that, then I'm giving response for it now. Right, now let's come for our content here, all of you know. Right, guys, now Spring introduction part I've given. Introduction in the sense like what I've given there, what exactly the content I'm going to be covered inside the Spring framework. Up to this point only here we discussed it there. Clear or not? That's okay, fine now. Then what are the various modules which are available there? First introduction is existed here. Introduction part here I discussed it there. Next one is the steps to prepare Spring application. After the steps to prepare Spring application, next one is the core module. For core module, what programming knowledge is required there? Core Java is sufficient. No need to get even JDBC also to understand this core module. This core module is mandatory even for what the Spring approach. Mandatory. Next one is Spring DAO JDBC model. What is the prerequisite now? Core Java and JDBC. All right. So next one is Spring AOP model. Core Java is sufficient. Core Java is sufficient, and a little bit about what there, some real-time tools like what there, log4j, this kind of things we required here. Okay, I'll discuss about it, no problem. Spring transactions, Core Java, JDBC, these things are required there. Next one is ORM, Hibernate is required. Web module, struts and JSF is required. All right, sir. Struts and JSF is required. Next one is a Spring Web MVC module. Servlets and JSP, struts JSF. Basically, struts and JSP is not mandatory. Servlets and JSPs are required. Spring is security. Servlets and JSPs are required here now. Right, sir. Anyway, now these are the various things here we have to understand clearly in our Spring framework. After that, after completion of these concepts, there I will start with what there Spring Boot, then microservices now. All right, sir. Now let's move on to the content, guys. All of you observe carefully. First of all, I'm telling to you, by using Spring framework, we are going to prepare enterprise applications. Of course, so many applications here we are able to prepare by using Spring framework. Of course, standalone applications we can prepare, database related applications we can prepare. Not only that, web applications we are able to prepare, distributed applications here we are able to prepare. So all the types of applications here we are able to prepare, but Spring framework is mainly for what their enterprise applications. Spring framework is mainly for what their enterprise applications. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point or not? Now here I'm asking one simple question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. What is an enterprise? First of all, what is an enterprise? After that we will think about an enterprise application. First tell me, what is an enterprise? What exactly the meaning of an enterprise? It's a normal terminology, general terminology only, general awareness only, not like any too much technology. Before going to talk about an enterprise application, what is an enterprise? Simple, as per my awareness, I'm giving there. Observe carefully. It is a group of, it's a group of organizations come under a single label. Come under a single label. It's a group of organizations that come under a single label. This is called as like what there? An enterprise. A simple example I'm telling there. And one more point. It is a group of organizations that come under a single label where business is going on. Where business is going on. Or else maybe instead of saying that a business going on, it is a business organization. It should be what there? A business organization. Don't say charitable trust is available. Don't say that is what there? An enterprise. Yes, sir. Are you getting my point or not? Okay, fine. What is an enterprise? It's a group of organizations that come under a single label. That's okay, straightforward point. Next one is, it's a business organization basically. It's a what there? Business organization, where business must be transferred. Business must be transformed. Business must be existed. I can take some examples now. Try to answer for it. For example, a roadside pachari shop is available. A roadside saloon shop is available. Can I say that saloon shop is an enterprise? There also be businesses going on. If you go there, maybe if you put some money, some services they're able to provide. There also be businesses going on. Money is transferred from one hand to another hand. Can I say it is an enterprise? No, leave it. That is low level, middle range. I am telling there. Durga Soft, Durga Software Solutions. Can I say it is an enterprise? Can I say is that Durga Soft is an enterprise? No, still no. I cannot say it is an enterprise. No. Here also the business is going on. I'm not saying Durga Soft is a charitable trust. I'm not giving any overarching kind of statements. No, we are giving services, very good. No, very good services to the students. Genuine, sir. No, it's not like that. Students are paying the money, and Durga Soft is giving services. Definitely, we are not allowing any other student without payment. Do you think about it? Durga Soft is a charitable trust? Never. Don't think like that. Definitely, business is going on, but still, it is not an enterprise. Still, it is not an enterprise. Right, sir. Next one is like what there? What is that another one here? For example, Reliance Group of Industries, Tata companies, Tata, the name Tata, Reliance Group of organizations. Nowadays, maybe Adani Group of organizations. We can say all these are like what their enterprises. Yes, sir. All of you get my point. We can say all these are like what their enterprises. Yes, what is the difference? Can know? Example. Of course, the Reliance people are nowadays starting their own saloon shops. I think already in Mumbai they were available. In Hyderabad, maybe they just started. Reliance people have started their saloon shops. That's okay. But because of that reason, I'm not saying that Reliance is what there is an enterprise now. But I'll give some points here. If we take a Tata group of organizations, what we have there now, what exactly the sub companies are available inside this Tata under the label Tata? What are the various branches are available? What are the various verticals are available? Can you tell me? Right from salt to steel, right from salt to steel. So many domains are available for Tata. Example, Tata Salt, Tata Insurance, Tata Steel, then Tata Mobiles maybe, communication, Docomo or something else no previously. Then apart from that, what next one can know? Apart from this, no, TCS, best example, Tata Consultancy Services, Software Wing, TCS. Like this, so many, yeah, best example is like what the nowadays, Tata Motors is available. Do you know the Tata group of industries They have taken over one very good cars brand. What's that cars brand there? Jaguar, right? Jaguar or any other one? Jaguar. Then the Tata people have captured that. Understand it here? Okay, fine. Now, anyway, then like this, so many branches are available, but all these branches are running under a single label. So we can treat it is like what there as an enterprise. Leave this one. Reliance Group of Industries nowadays. What they're having there no Reliance Group of Industries. Then what they're having there no there also be number of things, number of sectors. Especially they're mainly they are in what their oil supply, right? Gas supply. Reliance Gas. That is one other one. Next one is what there apart from that Geo Marts nowadays and communication Geo, right? Next one is what there Reliance Electronics. Am I right or not? Retail, right? Retail shops. Then apart from that, now they have taken steps in saloon shops also. Not only that, you are not aware about it. They are taking the steps in training institutes also. Really, but it was failure case for them previously, almost 5 to 6 years back. Especially in Hyderabad, they want to capture that Chaitanya Educational Institutes and Narayana Educational Institutes. They want to take over them. But I don't know what happened there. But in the middle, that process was stopped. They want to be in a training part also. Understand it? So like this, number of things are available. They are under like what there a single label. So we can say it is what there an enterprise. So just this is a general as a awareness point on I'm telling there, not too much technical content here. What is an enterprise in the sense? These many things here we are able to get clearly. Right, so that's okay, fine. This is the meaning of like what there an enterprise. All of you are getting clarity. What's the meaning of an enterprise? Can know? All right, sir. Now tell me, Durga Soft is an enterprise or not? No, not at all. Durga Soft is not an enterprise. Why? Because Durga Soft is not having any other domain. Durga Soft is in what there training and a little bit in development. That do previously. Now at present we are not maintaining any development center. Basically, previously we have a development center at Madhapur. Now just we stopped it during this before this corona. Okay, now Durga Soft is purely on what there training only. For example, if Durga Soft is in construction field, if Durga Soft is in food delivery, food field, answer my point, if Durga Soft is in like what there's some insurance domain, if Durga Soft has some real estate, if multiple domains are available for Durga Soft, then we can say Durga Soft is what there an enterprise. Get my point or not? So Durga Soft is now, as of now, it is not like what there is an enterprise. Roadside saloon shop is also not an enterprise. Just it is a shop. Good. Then after that, what is an enterprise application? In general, I'm telling that the meaning no enterprise application. What's the meaning of it now? Right, so the name itself is giving suggestion for us. No, what is the meaning of an enterprise application? It is a software application. Enterprise is what there? It is a software application. It is a software application. Okay, it will simplify. It will simplify the business processing. It will simplify the business processing. It will simplify the business processing of an enterprise. It will simplify the business processing of an enterprise. All of you get my point on it. It is a software application. It will simplify the internal business processing of an enterprise, or internal or external, whatever it may be related to that enterprise. The total business processing have to be simplified. For that, if you prepare any application, then that application is called as what there an enterprise application. Everybody understand this point clearly? Okay, fine. Next one is after that, how we are able to prepare this enterprise application. To prepare enterprise application as a developer, being a developer, what I have to do as a software engineer, what I have to do if I want to prepare any enterprise application. All right, understand this clearly. To prepare an enterprise application, we have to provide the following layers. We have to provide the following layers. What are the layers here we have to provide there? Actually, let me show one diagram, guys. Now try to understand this diagram. To prepare an enterprise application, we have to provide a set of layers. What layers? Mainly. Then one more thing I'm telling to you, this is a high level representation. High level layers only. High level, topmost layers only I'm talking there. But if we open any topmost layer, where again sub layers are available, I'm not moving to the total sub layers immediately, but topmost layer. What are the various topmost layers are available to prepare an enterprise application there? The first one is like what there? User interface layer. User interface layer. Of course, in other words, we can call it as like what there? Presentation layer. We may call it as like what there? Presentation layer. User interface layer, or we can call it as what there? Presentation layer. Next one, after that, business layer. In other words, first of all, business processing layer, or we may call it as like what there? Business layer. Next one after that, data storage and access layer, or in other words, persistence layer. In other words, we can say it is what there? Persistence layer. Overall, these are the three layers which are available to prepare our enterprise applications. User interface layer or presentation layer, business processing layer or business layer, data storage and access layer or persistence layer. Right, sir. Let's understand this clearly. Yeah, maybe people are asking to me, sir, can you give an example of for an enterprise application? Now, whatever the examples I said to you, for example, Reliance Group of Industries, they're having their own softwares. The software is nothing. Say, for example, a simple example, no need to think much about it. If you go for Reliance Fresh or maybe somewhere else, some supermarket, if you go there, what we are doing now, just we have taken some items there where billing is going on or not. How that billing is going on there? Through software or directly you want to give like go for like what there? Then paper receipts now. What we are able to get there? Then through software only we are paying the bill or not? It's also be the part of like what there? An enterprise application. Not only that, say for example, I want to book a Tata car, Tata Harrier, for example. Now maybe in a Tata also be so many cars are available, very good cars are available, right? I want to book a car. How we are doing that? Of course, we'll go to the Tata showroom. There we are going to select some car, maybe something else. But where your details and everything must be entered in that software or not? Customer details and everything will be entered in that software or not? That's also be what they're part of the enterprise application. Not only that, if you go for TCS, for example, TCS is an organization where internal softwares are working or not, internal softwares are running or not. For the sake of tracking our employees there, they definitely they require some internal software. It's also be the part of like what there, like an enterprise application there. Get my point or not? Like this, in every domain we can get like what there's some software. Nowadays everything is through softwares only. With respect to Tata, whatever the softwares they are using there, they are nothing but like what they're like an enterprise application. Of course, in a single enterprise in a single enterprise, a single application may be available or maybe multiple applications are available. Say for example, Tata Motors is available. It has its own application. Tata Insurance is available. It has its own application. The domain has its own application. Am I right or not? But altogether we can say an enterprise application or individual, each and every one is treated as what there? An enterprise application. Finally, applications are prepared for what there? An enterprise. That's a simple example here I'm telling to you, right? Of course, might be Flipkart and e-commerce applications there. Amazon or Flipkart, so many applications are available, not only this. Right, now let's come for the points here now. Next one is after that user interface layer or presentation layer or business processing layer or business layer or data storage layer or what next one here no persistence layer. These are the various layers which are available in an enterprise application. If we want to prepare an enterprise application, What layers here we have to provide in the sense, these are the various layers here we have to provide. That's okay, fine. Now, first let's understand. The first one is like what there? User interface layer. User interface layer or presentation layer. Right, sir. What exactly the purpose of this user interface layer? What is the need of it? Why we need to go for this user interface layer? That part here we have to understand. Let's say this one, the very first point here I'm telling to you, all of you observe carefully. What is the purpose of this user interface layer? The very first one is what there? It will provide starting point to the users in order to interact with the application. Understand this point here? It will provide a starting point to the users in order to interact with the application. What's the meaning of it now? Say for example, simple example, flipkart.com. Just on the browser, what we are going to type there? www.flipkart.com. Then what we are getting, sir? Home page of the flipkart.com here we are getting or not? That means that what is the meaning of it now? That is user interface or not? Where indexes are available or not? All items are listed or not? All categories are listed or not? That is nothing but what there? A look and feel. That is nothing but what there? An user interface. That is the first point for the user to interact with our application or not? Leave it. www.gmail.com. What we are getting, sir? Immediately login page you are getting or not? That login page is nothing but what there? User interface or not? Observe carefully. So definitely it will provide what there? Starting point for the user or entry point for the user to interact with our what there? An application. So that's why that user interface is mandatory. Understand my point here? Is it possible to check our authentication without having login page? No. Without having username, password fields, text fields, and labels, without having that, is it possible to check my authentication? Not possible. Definitely we require that user interface or not. So that is the reason why it will provide a starting point for the users in order to interact with the application. That is point number one. Next, another one. It will improve look and feel. It will improve what there? Look and feel to the enterprise applications. It will provide look and feel to the enterprise application. Now, what is the meaning of it here? For example, guys, observe carefully. I want to book a car. I may go for some showroom there. In that showroom, some registration form is available. Online booking I want to do, for example. A registration phase here we are getting. In that registration phase, then what is available? Maybe some details here we entered. Customer details are entered. Along with that, booking date we have to provide. Booking date we have to provide or not? Okay, booking date is what there? Some date here we have to specify. Clear or not? How we are going to specify the date now? In the text field, you want to write like what there today date, like what there 30-01-2023. In that way, you want to write. Not providing good look and feel. Of course, text field providing date is not required. Along with the text field, maybe some icon is available. If you click on that icon, automatically calendar will open or not. In that calendar, we are going to select a particular date or not. Now tell me which one will provide very good look and feel. Providing your date in a text field or providing selecting date in the calendar. Calendar is giving very good appearance or not. This is the meaning of look and feel. That will be provided by what their user interface. Presentation. Okay. Not only that. See, think a minute about it. If login page is not available, how can we provide our data to the Gmail application now? Username, text field, password field, where dots are displayed. If you provide a password data, Understand my point, Ken? Then how it is possible to provide our details to the application without this registration pages and login pages? No. Got my point or not? So definitely that user interface is providing look and feel to the enterprise applications or not. That is another advantage here we have to understand clearly. Okay, look and feel is the main intention here. Next one is after that, after completion of this, it is acting as an user interface between users and server side applications. It is acting as an user interface between users and server side applications in order to get data from users. That means in order to transfer data from users to the server side application and from server side applications to the users. Am I right or not? Please check this statement here, what I've given. This is very, very important statement. It is acting as an user interface between users and server side applications in order to transfer data from users to the server side applications and from server side applications to the users. Simple example. For example, what I want to do there, I'll go for some examples like what now. As a simple, durgasoft.com is available, for example. Not even durgasoft.com there. For example, I want to go for facebook.com. I want to provide. Where immediately what we are getting there, Facebook login page here we are getting. If you are new to the Facebook, sign up process is available. Click on the sign up. Where registration page is open or not. In that registration page, I have to enter the data. When I enter the data, when I click on submit button, automatically user interface is sending the data what I entered to the server side application or not. Means that user interface is collecting data from user. The data is transferred to what the server side application. Server side application has done some process there. Then after completion of that process, server side application will send some data to the user through the user interface. Now user interface is collecting data from server side application and the data is displaying to the user. User can see the data, can get the data. So what is the meaning of it now? User interface is acting as a mediator or middle one between users and server side application in order to carry the data from user to server side application and from server side application to user care. Answer my point here. So that is nothing but like what they like as a user interface care now. That's okay, fine. Right, guys. Now I'm asking one more question. Now try to answer for it. I want to create, guys, all of you observe carefully. I want to create an application. In that application care, what I want to there, I want to take some user registration. User details I want to take through registration form. Observe carefully. In the user registration form, there are some fields. What fields are available? Date of birth field is available. Date of birth field. Okay. Right, sir. Date of birth field. For example, date of birth field is available. There, unfortunately, I provided the date of birth value is like what there. Say, for example, 45 hyphen 11 hyphen, say for example 2025. Is it a valid date for date of birth? Tell me, guys, is it possible? First of all, what is this 45? We thought of it is a day. What is the day maximum value? No, 30 or 31st. That depends on that calendar, right? Depends on the month. What is this 11 here? No, month. It's okay. 11 is okay, valid. Like here we have 1 to 12. But date of birth in the sense, what's the meaning of it now? It must be a past date or not? The date of birth, that year should be what their past year or not? But here what we provided there, future year we provided. How much it is valid there? No, not at all possible. That's why if we provide data like this, then internally what our program has to do, internally what our application has to do, come on guys, our application has to take the data, it has to check whether this data is valid or not, then it has to, if it is invalid, then it has to display some error message or not. Date of birth value must be a past date, it should not be a future date. Like this we need to get some message or not. So before using this data in our application, in our business logic, first we have to check whether this data is valid or invalid. First we have to check whether this data is valid or invalid. Am I right or not? Right, so the process of checking whether the data is valid or invalid is called as data validations. The process of checking whether the data is valid or invalid is called as data validations. Answer my point now. Right, sir. There are two types of data validations. How many types of data validations are available? Two types of data validations are available. What are the two types of data validations now? Client side data validations and server side data validations. Right, sir. First one is what there? Client side data validations. Second one is what there? Server side data validations. What is the meaning of this client side data validations and what is the meaning of server side data validations? No, very simple. Try to understand this. Server side data validation is nothing but, observe carefully, we have a form. We have a form. In that form, we provided the data. Some fields are available where I provided the data. When I click on submit button there, request will go to the server side application. Along with that request, our data will be submitted to the server side application. At server side application, our data will be stored in the form of a bean object. As per the application development, our request data will be stored in the form of what there? A bean object, for example. After storing the data in a Java bean object, we will get the data, we will use the data in our business logic. At server side application, business logic is available or not? There we are going to use the data what we submitted from client aligned with request. But before using our data in the business logic, at the server side application, if we are checking whether this data is a valid data or invalid data, before using the data in a business logic, if we are checking whether the data is a valid data or invalid data, the checking process is called as data validations. The checking process is called as what there? Data validations. Data validations at which mission? No, server mission. Data validation at which mission? No, server mission. That's why this type of data validation is called as like what there? Server side data validations. This type of data validation is called as like what there? Server side data validations. Got my point or not? To prepare these server side data validations, we have tried Java code, purely Java code, not any other technology. Server side data validations are performed by using Java, purely Java code. Understand it clearly now? Okay, fine. This is completed. Next one. Another one is like what there? Client side data validations. Another one is what there? Client side data validations. What's the meaning of this client side data validations actually? Observe carefully, all of you know. Simple point. First of all, I got a form from the server side application. That form is open in a browser. Form is available in the browser. Username or maybe user like address details or maybe some other details. Everything I provided. Date of birth values and everything we provided inside like what there? A form. At bottom we are having a submit button. At bottom we are having what there? Submit button. Say for example, I enter the data. I enter the data. After entering the data, when I click on submit button, as per the concept, what is going to be happen there? Along request will be submitted to the server machine. Along with request, our data will be submitted to the server machine. Am I right or not? But here the point is what? Understand it now. When I click on this button, after clicking on this button, before submitting request to the server, after clicking on the button, before submitting the data to the server, in between these two, our user interface will take our data and it will check whether the data is valid or not at a browser only. Before submitting data to the server at a browser, our data will be checked whether it is valid or invalid. Tell me, at which location that the data validation is going on, at a browser or at server side now? Browser only. Browser in the sense client emission only. At a client side only, the data is going to be checked whether it is valid or invalid. This type of data validations is called as what? Their client side data validations. That's it. Now tell me, all of you guys, what is this? What is the difference between server side data validations and client side data validations? What you are thinking about it now? Answer is very clear. If you perform data checking process at server side with Java code, that is called as what? Their server side data validations. But if you are checking whether the data is valid or not at a client browser after submitting data and before sending the data to the server side, if you check whether the data is valid or not, this type of data validity checking is called as like what? Their client side data validations. Now tell me, to implement server side data validations, what code is required here? Java code is required. Am I right or not? What code is required there? Java code is required. But to implement client side data validations, here we required JavaScript kind of technologies. What we required there now? JavaScript kind of technologies. Might be some of you completed already JavaScript. Am I right? No response, guys. Completed already. In the full stack Java, already we completed UI technologies where JavaScript you completed. In JavaScript, functions topic is available or not? JavaScript functions are exist or not? User-defined functions are possible or not possible? Possible here. We can call that user-defined functions either by clicking on button or by selecting some data in the checkboxes. No, like this, we are able to access that user-defined functions or not? No response, guys. On click attribute or maybe on submit attribute, then where along with that we have to call that functions, JavaScript functions there. Yeah, by using the JavaScript functions, we are able to implement client-side data validations. Answer my point here now. Client-side data validations, if we want to perform, there we have to use JavaScript functions. We have to use that. By the execution of the JavaScript functions only, client-side data validations here we are able to provide. Of course, right from HTML 5.x version onwards, inbuilt data validations are available along with the fields. Of course, in the text field, if you specify mandatory option there for any text field, no, mandatory is equal to true something else, no, automatically the data is mandatory in the text field. Without providing the data, if you submit the form there, then immediately it is providing like what there, data is mandatory in this field, please enter the data. Right from HTML5 version, I think so, right from HTML5 version onwards, data validations are inbuilt inside the HTML tags now. Sir, all of you are getting fine, whatever it may be, whether it is an inbuilt concept or user defined JavaScript functions, whatever it may be, that validations are performed at client side or not. So they are called as like what their client side data validations. Fine, now tell me, to implement client side data validations, we have to use JavaScript functions or not? Definitely we have to use what their JavaScript functions. Okay, but here my question is JavaScript functions we are able to use, that's okay, but we have to define the JavaScript functions now. If you want to execute JavaScript functions now, first we have to define JavaScript functions or not? If you want to execute JavaScript functions now, first we have to define them or not? Where we are going to define the JavaScript functions? Where we are going to define the JavaScript functions? Right, we are going to define the JavaScript functions in the form of HTML pages only. In HTML page only, header part and body part, two parts are available. Inside the header part, we will define the JavaScript function. Inside the body part, we can call the JavaScript functions. Inside the header part, we are going to define what the JavaScript function. In the body part, we are going to access the JavaScript functions. Got my point or not? Now tell me, all of you now tell me here, that HTML file or JSP file, whatever it may be, is a part of the user interface or not? That HTML file is a part of the user interface or not? For example, if user interface is not available, there is no HTML file, There is no JavaScript function. How can we perform client-side data validations? No. How can we perform client-side data validations? No. Is it possible? No, not possible. So because of that reason, what's the conclusion here we are providing there? User interface is providing very good environment to implement data validation logic or to perform data validations. Get my point or not? So here the point is like what there? What's the point I'm telling to you? Observe carefully. To perform client-side data validations, to perform client-side data validations, to perform client-side data validations with JavaScript functions, we require what their user interface. Right, sir. Understand my point here. User interface, it will provide a starting point to the users in order to interact with the application. It will improve the look and feel of the enterprise applications. It is acting as an user interface between users and server-side application in order to transfer data from users to the server-side applications and from Java and from server-side applications to the users. Next one is to perform client-side data validations with the JavaScript functions. That means it will provide adequate environment to perform client-side data validations with JavaScript functions. That is another point here we have to understand. Right, sir. All of you observe carefully. The next one here after completion of this. Listen carefully. Um, I think in your user interface, have you understand the form tag? User forms topic is available in user interface in HTML, not more than that. Inside the HTML form tag is available to gather all the input components as a single place, to group all the input components in a single place in order to submit their data to the server as a single data. There's some form tag we are going to use. Am I right or not? Can you tell me inside the form tag what attributes are available? What attributes are available inside the form tag? Any idea? Say for example, action attribute is available to represent a particular server-side resource in order to perform server-side action. Next one is there is an attribute like method. Method attribute. Have you remembered that? Method attribute. To that method attribute, we are able to specify different types of request types, HTTP methods. Different types of HTTP methods we are able to specify. That means different types of requests. I have a form. From this form, I want to send get request for getting the data. I want to send a post request for posting the data. I want to send some like what there head request for getting headers of the response. I want to send some options request. I want to get which options are supported by my server side application. I want to send something else like put request to the server to perform some updations in the database or maybe updations in the server side now. Got my point or not? Different types of requests are available. HTTP requests are available. Different types of requests. Get to post to head put options. They may be delete. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? Okay. Now the point is what I'm telling here. I'm asking to you. Try to understand this clearly. Login pages are using which request type? No. Okay. Before that, I'm giving one more point. Get and post. If we compare there, get is not providing security, whereas post is providing security. Security point of view, which request type is very good? No, post request type is very good. Now tell me, from the login page, what request type here we have to specify? Is that get request or post request? Post request. In the login pages, we are going to specify what request there? Post request. One more point. If we specify the get request, no, the data which we entered in our form, the data will be sent to the server as a plain text data. The data will be sent as what there? Plain text data. But if we use a post request, no, the data what we provide in the form, the data will be sent to the server side application by encrypting the data. Post data will be encrypted while transferring in the network, but the get data will not be encrypted. The data will be transferred as a plain text data. Now tell me, security is more with what? Post request or get request? No, post request get. Now I want to send post request from my form. Login pages are using post request types only. I want to download a resource from my server side. Get request I'm going to use. I want to update my resources at server side now. Then put request we can use. Sir, got my point or not? So if you want to specify these many request types now, where we are going to specify these request types now? At the time of preparing the form, we have to specify some request type or not? That means in form tag, we have to specify method is equal to get, the method is equal to post, method is equal to options like this, we have to specify or not? That means in user interface only we are specifying this data or not? Come on guys, in user interface only we are providing this data or not? So here the point is like what there, it is a point, here the point is like what there, it will provide very good environment, it will provide very good environment to specify different types of requests, like what there, get, then what next one can know, post, next one is like what there, options, next one is like what there, put, next one is like what there, head, next one is like what there, delete, and so on and so on and so on. To specify these many request types now, here we have to provide like what there, here it will provide very good environment to specify different types of requests like what there, get, to post, options, put, head, and what next one there, delete. Is clear all of you know? So this is another requirement to go for like what there, user interface. Guys, I'm asking one question to all of you know, try to answer for this. What is the question here? Everybody now tell me here, what is the question here we have to understand? What is the requirement? First of all, tell me, to prepare an enterprise application, what layers here we have to provide? No, 3 layers here we have to provide. What are the 3 layers here we have to provide there? User interface layer. Next one is what there? Business layer. Next one is what there? Persistence layer, data storage and access layer. They are the 3 layers here we have to provide. Tell me, what is the purpose of this user interface layer? What is the requirement of this user interface layer? First one is what there? It is a starting point for every user to interact with our server side application. Second one is what there? It improves look and feel to the enterprise application. Third one is what there? It is a carrier, data carrier between user and server side program. It transfers the data from users to server side application and from server side application to user care. Next one is what they, it provides very good environment to perform client side data validations with JavaScript functions. Next one is what there, it provides very good environment to specify different types of requests like a get, post, options, put, head, delete, and so on. Yes sir, got my point or not? Then after that, after completion of this particular point here, another thing is like what there, observe carefully. To prepare this layer, to prepare this user interface layer or presentation layer, we are going to use a separate logic. We are going to use what there, a separate logic. That logic is called as presentation logic. We are going to use a separate logic. That logic is what there, presentation logic. To prepare user interface layer, we will use a separate logic called presentation logic. Next one is to prepare presentation logic, we will use a set of technologies like we will use a set of technologies like right sir, we'll use a separate set of technologies like what there, HTML, CSS, of course supporting technology for HTML. Next one is what there, then apart from that, right sir, HTML, CSS, of course JavaScript for the sake of this validations or event handling, for the sake of that. Next one is offer this Bootstrap as a framework for CSS. Then apart from that, then what next one here, like sir, then AWT, am I right or not? Swing, Java related, AWT and Swing, they are for geo applications only. Right sir. Then apart from this, JSPs, web technologies, if we have to this, not servlets, purely servlets, no. server side only, but JSPs is also for what their presentation layer. For providing, for presenting the data, we are going to use what their JSPs mainly, and so on and so on and so on. So many things are going to be used clearly. That's enough. This is what exactly the meaning of like what their presentation layer, what we are having there, or user interface layer. Right, sir. Next one is what the second one is what there business processing layer or business layer. Business processing layer or business layer. Right, sir. Business processing layer, and next one is what there business layer. We can use the thing here now. Right, sir. Then shall we discuss this topic on tomorrow? Right, sir. Then tomorrow I want to go for this, and tomorrow we'll complete the remaining two layers here. Then after that, tomorrow we are going to start like what there types of enterprise applications. I have to talk there, but types of enterprise applications already we discussed in the servers and JSPs now. Difference between web applications and distributed applications, almost 5 or 6 differences I'm given there. Just one time I'm able to read the statements. By that I'm able to complete the topic. Why? Because here also we have to discuss about what are their types of enterprise applications clearly. Yes, sir. Got it or not? After that, after completion of this, web application models, web application model architectures are available. That we are going to understand. Model 1 architecture, model 2 architecture. There I'm going to introduce MVC architecture. After completion of this MVC architecture, we are going to talk about like what is the requirement to go for frameworks. That point is very, very important. Frameworks introduction there I will provide there. After understanding the frameworks introduction, next, how many types of frameworks are available? Right, sir. How many types of frameworks are available? Then what after this? What are the various examples for the frameworks? Where Struts, JSF, and Spring? So many things are available. Then why Spring is so special when compared with Struts and JSF? What differences are available? Why Spring is very good when compared with others? There I'm going to give some reasons. After that, after understanding that Spring, next one is we are going to talk about what their Spring history, how many versions are available, and which way the very first version is coming. What is the intention of writing this Spring framework? That introduction we are going to see. After completion of that is Spring versions. That means how many versions are available at each and every version, how modules are available. After completion of this, next one is like what there overview of each and every module inside the Spring framework. Overview of each and every module. After understanding the overview of Spring, each and every module, then we are going to start steps to prepare first Spring application. What components we require to prepare first Spring application? In the first application, we are able to get very much clarity. Why we are discussing all these concepts? No, there in first application we are going to see. Observe carefully. In that first application, I'm going to include some files, so different files I'm going to prepare. Then their explanation part I have to give. Then afterwards, we are going to start with what their programming part can. Once if we complete that the first application development with all the steps, no, then I will start 4 module inside the Spring framework. 4 module we are going to start. There we are going to see the remaining content one by one we are going to see now. Max, understand this? Right from today, this is Saturday and Sunday, including that, we are going to have sessions. Don't neglect this. In JDBs, I think so 1 or 2 small topics are remaining here. Then I'll take some time and then I'll cover the topics. Don't worry. But meanwhile, this next Saturday and Sunday also, we are going to have sessions. That I will give that appropriate schedule, that exact time I will provide to you. Maybe on what there tomorrow or day of tomorrow, I will give that announcement. But every Saturday and Sunday, at least 3 hours for servlets and 3 hours for Spring framework I want to take on weekends. I'll give the schedule information there. If it is not possible on Saturday to take long session, definitely I'll think about like what there on Sundays. So max no holiday scheme we are going to plan until the completion of the Spring framework. Then after that we'll think about what there Spring of board. As early as possible, I'm going to complete Spring framework. Don't worry for it. Right, sir? That's okay, fine now. Okay, right, sir. That's all for today. Then tomorrow we'll see the remaining content. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Right, sir. And 7 p.m. class is what? What's the 7 p.m. class, guys? No, complete it. Okay, okay, right. Link is not prepared. Permanent link is not prepared. It is a demo link only. We can use that. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Huh? Hmm. ఏం చేస్తున్నావు దాన్ని? ఇది ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ ప్రాబ్లం ఇది. ఏ వర్షన్ ఇది 12 కదా? మీకు ఎంత మించి మనం ఏం చేయగలం దీనిలో? ఇంక దీని మించి మనం ఏం చేస్తాం దీనిలో? అదే ఇంటర్నల్ తంతుంది అది. ల్యాప్టాప్ రావట్లేదు. చూడాలి అసలు ఏం ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటనేది ఇంకా క్లియర్గా. అంటే మేబీ మనకి తెలిసినంత వరకు కూడా సెటప్స్ ఏమి ఉండవు దీనిలో మాక్సిమం. మనం ఏం సపరేట్గా సెట్ చేసేది ఏమి ఉండదు పాతలో కానీ కానీ పోర్ట్ నెంబర్స్. ఇప్పుడు అది జనరల్గా టిఎన్ఎస్ లిజనరా అదేదో ఉందో కదా దానికి. ఇది ఎందుకు పెట్టినావు మళ్ళీ? జేడీకి ఇచ్చావు కదా, అది జేడీకేలోని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసావు కదా, జేడీకే 1.8లో ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ కూడా జరిగింది. సార్ రీస్టార్ట్ చేసి చూడు. రీస్టార్ట్ చేయదు. రీస్టార్ట్ చేసి స్టార్ట్ చేయవు సార్, చూద్దాం. చూడు ఇప్పుడు చూడు, చూద్దాం. Yadav, nothing you scripted, guys. Then one class I complete, just overview I've given there. All right, okay. I registered for only frameworks. Could you please Setugran Yadav, just please contact with the admin people there. They'll be available at yeah. Then I'll give some email ID to you. Then we can contact with them. Like www.durgasoft online training @gmail.com. Either we can go for it, otherwise might be 888-525-2627 or maybe 9246212143. Yeah, this is 9246212143. These numbers here we can contact there. So our people will be in touch with you. Then they'll provide information to you. Right? Right, guys. That's all, guys. Then tomorrow I'll continue the content. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me, guys. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are going to be, all of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, please type in questions box. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Yeah. Guys, then advanced Java at 7:30 batch is not for you. Don't come for that advanced Java class. That is not at all for you. Guys, please remember this, what I'm telling there. Advanced Java batch at 7:30 is not for you. Okay. Praveen, Vajir, Praveen, then just I'm giving clarity. Don't join for advanced Java. Then now, immediately it's not required. Then for you separately, I will start advanced Java. Okay. For you separately, I'm going to start advanced Java. Clear? Right. Right. Thank you. Right. Good evening, guys. And check it. What content here we discussed there. And I want to give some notes related link for this classes there. Now let us go for this document here. I've given some document already, some content. Uh, right, so just give 2 minutes of time. Or else maybe let me complete the remaining part here in the Java history. Then at the end, I will give the document URL for the sake of this notes. I will give that. Okay, right. Now come for the content here. What we completed there in the last class, no? Java history, the total part here I started here, where up to some part of the history I started. Okay, what topic here we started there? What is the requirement to provide Java programming language to the market? If we come for this point, answer is very clear. In 1991, Sun Microsystems had a requirement to prepare a new programming language in order to prepare softwares for electronic consumer devices like cable TV switch boxes, remote controllers, and so on. For this particular reason why Sun Microsystems decided to prepare a new programming language. For that, they have taken nearly 30 members team led by James Gosling and Patrick Nathan. With this 30 members team, Sun Microsystems has started a project. What is the name of the project there? Green Project. Green Project was started. In Green Project, they want to prepare a new programming language. That programming language